Hey! Did you know Final Fantasy XIV is actually making their own tabletop RPG based on their universe? It's because of their 10-year anniversary, and I think it's such a fun thing to do. I used to play Pathfinder with a group of friends for about 2 years, pretty much every week. I've also dabbled in D&D and even Call of Cthulhu. Because tabletop RPGs allow you to have so much fun. And if you haven't tried them, they are basically you and your friends playing different characters and generally making terrible life choices in them. Like every story is just chaos. Different chaos, fun chaos, but definitely enjoyable chaos. And it has different roles depending on like what you're interested in. Because you can be the dungeon master who is the storyteller, which is something I found quite fun, but you can also be the player, which I've also tried and had a lot of fun with, because making your own character and going through this journey is lovely. Now, FF14 has decided to make their own tabletop RPG, which is really good because we have such a big universe we can play with. And to start it, they are starting with a starter set. Now, the starter set is gonna cost you about €60, which I think is not overly overpriced. It's not cheap, but it's not massively overpriced, which is good. And the set seems to contain everything to kind of get you going. So if you end up buying the set, you get both a player handbook and a game master book. These aren't the big rule books, but this is like enough to get going. You'll get 4 different character sheets, being a warrior, white mage, dragoon, and black mage. And these seem to be based off the original Warrior of Light and his companions. You will get a rule summary and strategy guide, 6d20 and 10d6, so 16 dice in total, an encounter map, character tokens, and ability markers. And in this are 3 pre-made scenarios, so if you are feeling unsure and you just want to try playing a pre-made story, that's easy. But don't limit yourself to that, because I think what is most exciting about this is not necessarily the starter set. It is the other 2 books. We don't have price or information about when they're going to be released, but there will be 2 books that will be released in addition with the starter set. First, and I think more important, is the standard rulebook. Now, the standard rulebook will include all of the basic rules and information you need to create your character and play the game. It is designed as a core rulebook for adventurers and game masters alike, and is seen as sort of the fundamental resource of the game. And that is what these core rulebooks usually are. And no matter what game type you're playing, when it comes to tabletop RPGs, if you get the core rulebook, you're good to go. Because you can make anything from it. You don't necessarily need the starter set. You don't necessarily need the monster guides. Having the basic rules allows you to build basically whatever you want. And I mean, if the rulebook doesn't have some information, homebrew it. Make your own rules. That's what we do in the other games, and it works fine most of the time. There is also a second book which is called Scenario and Game Master Guide. This is if you wanna go deeper in information on how to make scenarios and stories, and if you wanna run your own adventure, but maybe you feel like you want a little bit more extra help or just inspiration. So according to the website, they say the book will contain a wealth of information and advice for running the game, and provide a wide variety of handy data that can help Game Master craft their own stories and scenarios. It also includes a number of original pre-made scenarios that can be played right out of the box. No matter if you're interested in just the starting edition, the rulebook, or if you want to buy the whole thing, this is really fun because it allows you to play so many stories within the universe. Because don't discount the game as your resource. We have so many places and characters and just stories that you can mess around with, and you can build anything. Do you want to build a story about Charlayan scholars that go find mysterious ruins and happen to be in massive danger, and they have to save the world from something that is completely unrelated to the Warrior of Light? You can do that. Do you want to make a horror story about a group of adventurers that end up finding a haunted house and they get stuck inside it and there are like horrible things happening inside? You can do that. Do you want to make just a basic adventure of two people trying to go across the world or something? You can do that. You can do whatever you like because it is a tabletop RPG and it is perfect freedom, which is amazing. So, tell me, is this something you're interested in and excited about? And do you think the price is good? Because obviously we're going to have to account for shipping as well and potential taxes. Because I know like for this coming to Iceland, I'm probably going to have to add like 10 to 15 euros on top to account for just like getting it through the tax system and like customs and everything. But tell me about it. What do you think about this new tabletop RPG that they are going to release? I'm curious about it. Let's talk about it in the comment. And whatever you do, I hope I will see you next time. Bye bye.